Good morning, and welcome to Asheville Theater Radio on WPVM 103.7 FM. You can also listen live on WPVMFM.org. My name is Jeff Catanese, and I am doing my best to bring you all things theater here in Western North Carolina every Thursday morning at 10:30. You can also catch my archive shows on the website. That is WPVMFM.org once again. And I have two guests in my studio, both of Anam Cara Theater Company, Miss Erinn Hartley.
Hi.
And Miss Missy Bell.
Hello.
Miss Missy. You get that a lot, Miss Missy?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Don't listen to those people. They're idiots, like myself. Welcome, guys. Anam Cara Theater Company, I'm very happy to have in here because we have a show of theirs to plug, and that show is Accordion Time Machine. This 2 months incarnation being In-Laws and Outlaws, but they always have so much going on, so I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to just plug away and hit us with everything you guys have coming up. How has this 2 months? You do Accordion Time Machine every 2 months, correct?
Correct. Accordion Time Machine is our experimental ensemble, so we create an original show and perform about every other month.
Oh, very cool. And now, I was talking to Missy before the show. You guys have a core group, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. And how many people are in that core group?
Currently, there are 7, right? 7.
I think that's right. 7.
Seven. Name them.
Oh, great.
Wait.
That's good. We should count as we
Right.
name.
We'll count as we go. Well, there's myself and Missy.
Mm-hmm.
There's Ryan Madden, Molly Graves, Peter Lundblad, Luke Campbell, Kristen Aldrich, Nina Raffini. That makes 8.
And Tom Vincent.
And Tom Vincent, 9. So we were wrong.
9.
9.
So a really good, strong crew there, and some really talented and veteran actors, and as well as some newbies to not only the Anam Cara stage, but the world of acting and creating a show from the ground up. How's that experience been?
We have 2 new people right now. Ryan and Luke are new to the group, and it's been really neat. Ryan has, I think, a lot more theater experience than Luke does.
Right.
Maybe infinitely more.
Yeah, Ryan went to school for theater, too.
Every show going on right now.
Yeah, but it's neat. It's a really different experience than I think just a regular main stage show. So even for Ryan, it's learning how to kind of integrate into creating original pieces, and just kind of the format that we use for Accordion Time Machine is a new thing.
And it's relatively sketch-based, but a little bit more experimental than that. Am I correct there?
Yes, that's true. It's there's a personal element to the show as well. We originally started being based off of the neo-futurists, who tell real stories very much like they don't mime anything. They're elements of their personal life, that sort of thing. And that's how we started. We've veered away and sort of created our own style since then. But there's a personal element, I would say, to each piece. Would you say that's still accurate, Missy?
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's a rule, but it's kind of like the only rule. Something personal, something from your real life that's actually going on with you or that you're thinking about appears in each piece. And it may not be obvious. Some of the pieces are really abstract. But yeah, there's always some personal element.
Well, abstract and even, let's be frank here, weird. You do delve into the weird and largely experimental. But I think it's great that people can see that even in something abstract, strange, offbeat, whatever synonym you want to use, that there is a personal element to it, and they can tie that directly into the creator of said piece. That is really terrific. And we are going to talk more about Accordion Time Machine, In-Laws and Outlaws, by Anam Cara Theater Company, and I'll give you the particulars right now as I delve into the rundown and present my rundown music. They will be opening Friday, February 5th, and they will be running Saturday, February 6th, both nights at 8 p.m. However, They encourage you to get there early for the fun and festivities start before the show does.
Yes.
They will be at Toy Boat Community Art Space at 101 Fairview Road in Asheville. For more information, you can go to anamcaratheater.org or call 828-633-1733. Is all that information correct?
That is all correct. And I always like to say we spell theater with an R-E.
Yes, theater. It's theatre.
Right.
Theatre, people.
Add to the weirdness.
Most of our companies are theatre. Okay, so please try and get that right. And Anam Cara is spelled A-N-A-M-C-A-R-A. So get it right. I hope you have your pencils out. A couple other shows opening this week. Our LW Fantastique presents Rock of Ages for those who still live in the 80s. That is running February 4th through the 13th at Asheville's Masonic Temple right in downtown Asheville. For more information, you can go to rockofagesasheville.com or call 828-442-3104. Also opening this weekend is NYS3's Lead Productions, presenting Fiction, February 7th through 12th at 7 p.m. That is at Forsythia Hall in Asheville. I believe that's in the Montford neighborhood. You can get more information and probably directions better than I just gave you at nys3.com or call 828-276-1212. Couple shows continuing that have already opened. At Exalt Theater Company will bring you their latest show in Saturdays on Stage, Tricky Tricky Trickster Tales. And that is happening on Saturday morning, February 6th at 10 a.m. as they are there every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Magnetic 375 is located in the River Arts District. For more information, go to atexalt.org or call 828-505-2926. Also, North Carolina Stage Company continues their what has appeared to be very successful so far, Jeeves Intervenes. I've heard very funny things about that show. Well, I've heard that the show is very funny, not very funny things about the show. You know, like, oh, they're all naked, or no, nothing like that. That is running through February 21st, Wednesdays through Saturdays at 7:30 p.m., Sundays at 2 p.m. North Carolina Stage Company is located right here in downtown Asheville, 828-239-0263, or go online to ncstage.org for more information. We're going to get back to our rundown shortly, but I want to right now get back to my guests, Missy Bell of Anam Cara Theater Company and her cohort, Erinn Hartley, also of Anam Cara Theater Company, both of them having much to do with their accordion time machine. And this incarnation is called In-Laws and Outlaws. Sometimes the same thing.
That's right.
Yeah, we explore that a little bit. Absolutely.
The outlawing of the in-laws, or the in-lying of the outlaws.
Or
Both.
one causes you to be the other, maybe.
I think so.
But you guys produce so much. I love the fact that you have this ongoing experimental theater wing where you are free to explore and, as you said, bring in a personal element to each individual piece, but you always have things going on. And I know you have a show by Gogol coming up.
That's right. It's The Government Inspector, and it opens March 4th.
March 4th. So I think I have information on that. Maybe I don't. I don't know what I've got going on. I'm still using paper. This is ridiculous. Yes, March 4th through 12th. I do have information.
March 4th through 18th, actually.
Through 18th. Wow,
Yes.
I'm wrong. Go figure. I'm never wrong. Especially not on this radio show. Everything I have on this piece of paper is absolutely accurate. I'm positive of it. But yes, you have The Government Inspector. Now, what drove you to dive into early 20th century Russian stuff
Well, I mean, there are a lot of reasons. I think it's got an absurdist element to this play. We're doing the Jeffrey Hatcher version, which is a condensed cast version. We think the style fits Anam Cara's aesthetic pretty well. And also, it just so happens to fall during an election. And we couldn't foresee how crazy, comedic, absurd, I don't know what words you want to use, this current election is. But
I think, honestly, someone following in Gogol's footsteps or Beckett's footsteps should actually just take notes on this election and be prepared to write the play when it's all over.
Right.
Yeah, it is really amazing. And this ties into the election. The government inspector ties in.
Yeah, there's a mistaken identity of a government official, and a big old farce ensues. It's I don't know. This one is hard for me to know how to explain without giving too much of the plot away. But know that it is funny, and there are politics involved, and you should come see it.
And it is, for those who are hearing there are politics involved, don't be frightened away. It is wacky.
It's comedic,
There's
definitely.
Wacky, silliness, slapstick, stupidness. It's a good time. So I urge everyone to go out and see that. And let me just briefly get back to my rundown for a bit and talk about some other things that are closing this weekend. The Magnetic Theater is closing Mother Tongue. It is running through February 6th, Thursdays through Saturdays at 7:30. For more information, you can go to themagnetictheater.org or call 828-239-9250. Haywood Arts Regional Theater is closing The Fox, which is happening on Friday, February 5th at 7:30 and Sunday, February 7th at 2 p.m. Haywood Arts Regional Theater, or HART as it is known, is in Waynesville, North Carolina. You can get more information at hearttheater.org or theatra.org. Or call 828-456-6322. Also, a few things coming soon. I just want you to start planning ahead. Hendersonville Community Theater will present Matters of Choice, February 12th through 21st. Asheville Community Theater's Seussical is right around the corner, opening February 12th, running through March 6th. Parkway Playhouse will be performing a murder mystery dinner theater event called Dying to be Loved on February 12th and 13th. NYS3 Lead Productions presents V-Day, which is an entire evening of fun and music and theater, all centered around the very famous Eve Ensler play, The Vagina Monologues. That will be running February 13th and 14th in Black Mountain. Flat Rock Playhouse Downtown presents their fundraiser on February 20th. That will be called Theater with the Stars. And, of course, Anam Cara Theater Company has the Government Inspector coming up. That will be running March 4th through the 18th. Okay. Oh, I actually do have it. I'm just an idiot. That happens. I'm an idiot. It's okay.
Reading
I'm in the
is
arts.
hard.
I don't need a brain. Toy Boat Community Art Space once again. And you can get more information at anamcaratheater.org or call 828-633-1773. Wow, so much going on, you guys. You showed up twice on the rundown already. Do you want to talk a little bit about your future plans, or are those all hush-hush?
Ooh, our future ATM plans?
ATM or whatever you have.
Well, okay.
ATM is accordion time machine.
Accordion
not
time
just, we're going to go to the ATM later and get $20.
We call it that because it brings us a lot of money. No,
Yeah, totally.
that's
Cash cow.
yeah. Well, as I mentioned before, so we have an Accordion Time Machine show, which is our experimental ensemble, about every other month, and there's a new theme each month. Missy, what was last month's theme? Stuffed, I think it was.
Oh, yeah, it was
Stuffed.
the quote Christmas show.
Yeah,
Yes.
Stuffed. And then
There's
this...
the post-Christmas show when everyone feels stuffed.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, and this one is In-Laws and Outlaws, which Missy is directing. And then the next one, Missy, what is the title
It's
of that?
Pass the French Fries, Frida.
Right. And
I don't know what it means.
That's a
We don't know
very
yet.
specific title. Maybe
Yeah.
that's the entire show. That's how experimental it can get. It's two people sitting at a table, pass the French fries, Frida, lights down.
It's
everybody
true.
goes home.
That's very
Yeah.
true.
Right. But there's got to be an element of something personal.
That's
in
true,
it.
personal.
So maybe
Wait,
someone.
I don't like French fries. Wah, wah, wah. The end. And that's how it works.
Jeff has written our next show.
I think it's done.
I know. Let me get a pen. Oh. Well, it's recorded anyway. So we'll get to that. Yeah, and you guys work primarily out of Toy Boat. Is there any crossover between you and the Toy Boat folk? Because I know they are primarily circus folk and sideshow acts, burlesque, that type of thing. Do you share casts at all?
Well, Nina Raffini, who is one of the people who runs Toy Boat, happens to be a member of Accordion Time Machine, and she is in The Government Inspector this time, and she's been in one other of our main stage shows. It works out that way. We have open auditions for all of our shows and for our ensemble, so she auditioned and got the part. But other than that, we participate in some of their shows, like 10-minute movies and that sort of thing. Sometimes we'll present parts of that. But really, other than that, it's sharing space and partnering to keep the space going, making sure events are booked in there, that sort of thing. But as far as an Anam, Cara and Toy Boat show, we don't have any of those yet, though there might be some in the future.
You never know. And it's a great space for both theater and crazy circus acts and things like that. So if you haven't been to Toy Boat, I urge you, get out and check it out. Check out some of the things they do as a venue, and also, of course, everything that Anam, Cara Theater Company does. It's always interesting, even if it is not your cup of tea. Even if you say, as in The Government Inspector, oh, I don't like political comedies. Go. It will provoke conversation. It will always be interesting, and as Accordion Time Machine always seems to have a certain personal element to it, which I really enjoy about you guys' work. You guys' all right. I'm learning
thank you.
English. English is a second language. Radio is a second language. I'm going to get down to the rundown real quick, see if I can close this out and talk to my guests some more. I've still got rundown music left, so I'm going to do this. We've got some events and classes coming up. First and foremost is Asheville Community Theater's Broadway Boot Camp. This is an opportunity to whip your teens into theater shape. They will learn how to be lazy, how to wake up at noon, how to not... No. Actually, it's singing, dancing, and acting. And they get a really wonderful education in that regard. And then they perform for you. So please sign your teens up. They will certainly enjoy themselves. That is starting on March 5th and running all the way through the 7th, with performances on May 6th and 7th. For more information, go to ashevilletheater.org or call 828-254-1320. Also, NYS3 has... I can't even list what classes they have. They just have all the classes. So I have them listed as ongoing acting classes with great film and stage actress Kelly McGillis, Alexander Technique, Meisner Technique, Shakespeare, improv, voiceover, filmmaking, dance, yada, yada, yada. Give them a buzz at 828-276-1212 or try nys3.com on your computon. Also, Asheville Community Theater will be presenting adult classes in improvisation starting on March 15th. To sign up for that, you can go to ashevilletheater.org or 828-254-1320. Also, I want to let you know of a few submissions and or auditions that are coming up. If you are a writer, you may wish to submit your short plays to the Magnetic Theater's Brief Encounters 2016. The deadline is February 7th, so right now, start writing. Just get to your computer. For more information, themagnetictheater.org. Also, NYS3 Lead Productions, again showing up everywhere. is presenting Asheville's National 10-Minute Play Contest and Festival. They are accepting short play submissions until February 15th. NYS3.com for more information. We have a bunch of auditions going on. Asheville Community Theater's upcoming great classic comedy, The Man Who Came to Dinner. There is a ton of roles in that show. So if you want to come out for one this year, this is the one to come out for. Auditions will be February 14th and 15th from 6 to 9. For more information, go to ashevilletheater.org. Also, Haywood Arts Regional Theater is doing their season auditions February 21st and 22nd, and you can get more information on that at hearttheater.org. Asheville Theater Community, the entire community, as sponsored by the Montford Park Players, is doing the 15th annual Western North Carolina Unified Auditions. This is a great time not only to audition for so many different companies in the area. I hope you guys are going to be there. You going to be there? Yeah?
Oh, I don't think we have plans to be there, actually.
Oh, well, you should be there. It's so much fun. It's so good, and they give you a lunch and everything.
Yeah.
It's nice, yeah.
Haven't been in a long time.
It's a great opportunity for theater companies to get out there, see some of the new talent and even some of the old talent that's out there. Also a great opportunity for actors, even new actors, rookie actors, to get out there and be seen, and also to do a lot of networking. This year it's going to be held at Asheville's Masonic Temple, and you can go to unifiedauditions.org for more information. Also, Parkway Playhouse presents their season auditions Saturday, March 5th and Sunday, March 6th. For more information, travel up to Burnsville. No, or you can just much more simply go to parkwayplayhouse.com or call 828-682-4285. And that's all I got. I'm shutting down my music because, wow, that was a rundown. It's kind of strange getting back into the rundown after the holiday season when there was nothing going on. And I was kind of like, okay, here's the rundown. Joe's going to perform Hamlet on the corner. There wasn't anything going on whatsoever. But now we are back into the swing of things. Every theater company is doing everything they can. There's so much to see, so much to do. I urge everyone to get out there. But I am going to get back to my guests, Erinn Hartley and Missy Bell of Anam, Cara Theater Company's Accordion Time Machine, In-Laws and Outlaws. I want you guys to tell the listeners more about Anam Cara as a company. You were started with a social justice mission in mind, if I am correct?
Right, yeah. So our plays have a socially progressive theme to them. We always hope to spark conversation with the work that we present. We have a pretty avant-garde aesthetic. It's a lot more about the experience. We don't very often have linear plays that are super traditional, though we do have some of those, but then our hopes are that they will spark conversation and have relevancy.
Yeah, I think it's about presenting questions and getting people to really think through them and think about them as they leave the theater more than answering the questions for them.
Absolutely.
At the show.
That's a really terrific element. And as you mentioned, Erinn, avant-garde aesthetic. There is so much room here in Asheville for that. There are very few companies who are producing under that banner, if you will.
Right.
And I think it's really important for people who do love theater. I mean, it's always great to go see the latest incarnation of Oklahoma and things like that. It's a part of theater history, and it's really terrific. But a big part of theater history is the avant-garde, is the theater that asks questions,
right,
and leaves it to you, the audience.
Well, and that's the other thing. We talk about, being socially progressive, but I do want to reiterate that, like Missy said, it's more about making you think, having you ask questions, that sort of thing, than beating you over the head with something very particular and specific. Like you said earlier, Jeff, about the government inspector. I think a lot of people can get something out of this, no matter what your views are. It's just a fun show that kind of makes light of the system in itself. So.
Well, that I find when I talk about a good show, what makes a good show, it's multi-layered, and everyone of all different aesthetics can really appreciate it. If you just want to come see a piece of theater, here's a wonderful piece of theater. If you are interested in politics, here's an interesting piece of theater about politics. If you just like to sit back and laugh, go ahead, still come to this,
right?
And sit back and laugh and have a good old time. That's often what the best theater is, and that was actually an aesthetic that kind of began with the avant-garde movement, both in Europe and here in the United States. You know, the idea that, hey, theater is fun, but, you know, we can also teach you something, and we can also have a political agenda, whether you agree with it or not. And I think that's very important, and I laud you guys for doing that here in Asheville.
Thank you.
Have you found, because of your aesthetic, have you found it difficult to build an audience?
Yeah, I would say, you know, it's been a slow build over time, but it has always been building. We've never, leveled
may I
off.
recommend Oklahoma.
Right, right. Though I have respect for that, complete respect for that. That's not really our thing. So
I think we have a very loyal audience base.
Absolutely.
I think that once people try Anam Cara, they kind of keep coming back to it because they want that sort of artistic expression. They want to leave with questions, and
Yes.
when they find that there is something out there like that in the theater arts, a lot of people tend to stay and keep. I mean, they go to see Oklahoma too, but then they come to Anam Cara shows to have more of a thinking experience, or even more of an emotive experience that they might not really understand at the time.
Right. Yeah, and I would say we also get a lot of people that aren't traditional theater goers, which is pretty neat too, bringing people to the theater world that way.
I think that's so important to bring people who, I mean, those people you can say, oh, here we're doing something about this topic, and attract those people who are interested in that topic.
Right.
And then suddenly they're theater people. I didn't know this happened. But also, in the sense of building an audience for you guys, there are so many transplants here. There are so many tourists who come here, and they are used to, depending on where their home is, being able to access that kind of theater.
Right.
So you guys providing an outlet for that is really terrific. So I want to thank you guys for being on. You speak both so eloquently about the weirdness of theater, which so few people can. I want to plug once again Anam Cara Theater Company's Accordion Time Machine In-Laws and Outlaws, happening on Friday, February 5th and Saturday, February 6th at 8 p.m. at Toy Boat Community Art Space, 101 Fairview Road in Asheville. You can get more information at anamcaratheatercompany.org or call 828-633-1773. Thank you, Missy. Thank you, Erinn, for being on the show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck with Accordion Time Machine and just about everything you've got going on. I want to urge everyone out there in Western North Carolina to please get out and see some theater. And as always, even more important, use your blinkers.